Okay, we are recording now. Let me share my screen. So, welcome everybody to another session, day 2 of Cloud Performance Engineering and DevOps SRE course. Okay, please confirm if I'm audible and everybody can see my screen. It's all good.
Yes, you're audible and the screen is
Okay,
visible.
Yes, your audible screen is visible.
perfect. Okay, so friends, we have our group created, right? Few of you, those who have enrolled, right, uh, are added to that group. So today, consider this is the last session for all, open for all. Okay. Uh, Please ask any questions if you have regarding anything, any more details you require about the course, right? We're gonna start with our normal agenda, and we are going to start our journey today on cloud. Okay. So what is cloud? That's our first topic. What is cloud? What do you think, friends? I would like to know from you. What do you think of cloud? What do we do in cloud? Why do we need cloud? What is cloud? Anybody?
Rush, before we start, I have one question. Shall I?
Okay,
Yeah, so actually, it's my first day. So in SRE, we are covering all the part of like observability and monitoring also, right?
correct.
Uh,
Do you have this link, Aditya? Let me quickly share this link with you. Your and go over the other two recordings sessions, demo and day one. You will get all the details about the course, right? Uh, the course syllabus, how we go about it, different topics that we cover. You have everything here in detail we have covered in the last two sessions. Uh, so I'm
okay,
sharing the link again here. Go over the link and yeah, go over the recording session as well. If you do not have it, ask my team. They will help you with the recordings. Sorted? All good? Okay. Any other questions before I get
Yeah,
started on the
I have one
topic?
question, Roshan. Like in
Mhm.
this training session, we are going to cover chaos engineering, chaos monkey, all this, right?
Chaos engineering, chaos. See, we will understand what is chaos. How do we go about testing chaos testing? What is chaos engineering? Yes, we cover that. Absolutely.
We are going to real-time scenarios. Some of the time we are going to intentionally down few of the servers. After some time we are going to up the server. This kind of scenarios we are going to configure and we are going to execute, right?
Execute, absolutely. See, before that, the way we go about it, right?
Uh,
uh,
hmm,
we will understand how do we bring the server down, how do we bring the pod down, how do we bring the load balancer down, right? So we will
hmm,
cover that. If you asking for a full-fledged application and complete outage monitoring dashboard, what alerts, no, that level of detail, right? It's need a very uh, detailed analysis. We don't go on that. We understand how do we go about engineering? How do we check this? Because see, if you understand, if you bring, we can talk about the process. How do we do that, right? So we're gonna draft a process. How do we do chaos engineering? But if you want to do the hands-on of that, understand what is required. You need a full-fledged application, full-fledged,
yes,
right?
yes,
You need a full-fledged monitoring setup,
yes,
full-fledged, so that
yes,
you need full-fledged alert setup, right? So that
yes.
is a very complex activity in itself. So instead, what do? We cover things in bits and pieces. We cover how we create infra in cloud, in the VM, how we set up infra in Kubernetes, how we create load balancer, and then we go about listing down scenarios. What to, if you bring a certain thing down, what all to check, what all metrics to check. So we cover those things. And we have those metrics in CloudWatch, we have those metrics in Prometheus. You will see me when I talk about monitoring, I will only talk about monitoring. I will show you the dashboard, right? When I talk about Kubernetes, I will create cluster. We will have every infrastructure created. That's hands-on. But again,
Okay.
for the full-fledged thing, it's very difficult to mimic the entire scenario. So we don't cover the what will happen if I bring down the server, what alerts will trigger, like full-fledged. That's a very complex setup in itself, complete. So we don't cover that, but we cover what to check, what metrics to check, what to look at, those things. So
Just as part of demo, you have to show some scenarios executed for 5-10 minutes and how to
I
see
will
the metrics.
demonstrate that. I will demonstrate
Okay.
that. But
Okay.
set up the full infrastructure is a very complex task that we don't do. You're gonna be you'll be able to understand. Sanand. I'll keep it simple. You will not
Okay.
have doubts when I cover the topic. You will not have doubts. If you still have
Okay.
doubts, we will
Mhm.
do what is required.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Actually, my requirement is to I need to be a full-fledged SRE
You will
resource
you
for a
you will
company.
be you will be you will
Okay.
be
o-
you will be.
Okay. Fine.
Just keep
Fine,
keep it
Roshan.
simple. Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions before we start, friends? Once I start, we will focus on the course topic. Any other questions, clarifications you have about the course? Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's start with our first topic, friends. Today is our day two. What is cloud? Let's hear it from you. It's a very interactive session. We will take input from all of you and we will build on top of it. So, what is cloud? What is your understanding of cloud?
Storage or computers that can be accessed over the internet and not particularly located on a local machine.
Okay, then how different it is from on-premise? Whatever you told Gokul applies same for the on-premise as well. Because when we say cloud,
Hmm.
we actually compare with on-premise, correct? That is the
Yeah, but
comparison. Yeah, go
Our
ahead.
data
that
or applications on the cloud on internet, it's like a cloud.
Can you elaborate on that?
Actually, we are going to host our applications on cloud environment like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and GCP. We are going to use data center, online data center. We are hosting, we are using those features.
And what is on-premise?
On premise, we are going to set up a physical servers. We have to maintain everything.
Perfect. Correct. That is the difference. Correct. Absolutely. Okay. For others, see, is it cloud or on-premise? For the application, does it matter? Why do we use cloud? Because we want infrastructure. Now, you can also buy you can also buy server and you can host your application, you can deploy your application. So when you manage the hardware infrastructure on your own, that is on-premise. So think like a big scale, right? We have data center. Okay, let me bring the PPT up. It's easy. We'll open the first PPT today, cloud PPT. I'll be sharing this Google Drive access to all of you once let the over the weekends I'll be sharing it. Okay.
For how many duration we'll have the access to for the that
In
drive?
that's infinite. There's no limit as such.
Okay, fine.
You'll have it for life. Yeah.
If you do any upgradation for that drive also, we will get we have the access,
You
right?
have the access, right? Always.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Um, Now what? Let's think from a bigger scale. If let's say Jeff Bezos, right? The guy was setting up infrastructure for Amazon.com. Everybody knows about Amazon.com retail website. Jeff Bezos is the owner, founder of Amazon.com. So the guy was setting up infrastructure for Amazon.com. So the guy was building this kind of facility. This is what we call it data center. So now Jeff Bezos was setting up infrastructure like this, right, to host Amazon.com website. Now the guy was that procured land. So anybody who is trying to set up this data center on their own, they have to purchase the land, procure the land, construct the building, purchase all the hardwares required, right? These servers will generate enormous heat, so cooling mechanism has to be done. We cannot run out of electricity. We should have the redundant power sources. We should have security personnel for the security of the facility. Lot of investment goes into setting up a data center. Billions of dollars goes into investment. So he would have anybody who is trying to set up a data center on their own has to invest so much. Now, once this is set up, you can deploy your application. Right? So when you manage this on your own, or a company where you work, if you heard them that they have a data center, they have invested everything, right? It's their data center, everything they own here. Now, what all different things they need to do? Again, virtualization has to be done. We'll talk about what is virtualization, right? VMs needs to be created after virtualization. Software needs to be installed. If you need a UI view to just check the health of all the servers, you need to set up that. So everything you need to own in your own data center. That is what we call it on-premise. So from the for the application perspective, you need infra, you need core, you need RAM, you need storage. So it doesn't matter whether it's coming from so it's coming from where, whether you own it or somebody else owns it, right? So when you own it, it's on premise. When somebody else owns it, for example, AWS, Azure, GCP, they have a business model where they create such data centers across the globe, and it's a business model for them. They have invested huge, and it's their business. You ask infra, they will give you, and they will charge you. It's like how we stay in a rented apartment, right? We don't own the home where we live. We have to pay the monthly rent. Are we allowed to stay there if you don't pay the rent? No, right? Same thing. If you stop paying cloud bill, your services will not be operational. They will suspend your access. So when somebody else have set up such data centers, that is what we call it cloud. The cloud has features. Features like they have a console, you can log in, you can get whatever you need. If you need servers, 20 servers, you can get it. If you need storage, you can get it. And you have a lot of other security services. They have everything is ready-made. Cloud is like fully furnished service apartment. You just need to go with your luggage and start staying. You have the option to cook food. You have everything ready made, right? You can build your application, you can deploy it. So you have every setup ready in the cloud, right? And that is what they charge for. So it's very much simple as that, right? So when we say cloud, that is what we mean, right? That it's somebody else data center. So the difference lies in the ownership. When you own, it's on premise. When you don't own, when you leverage, when you use the infra, that's cloud. Does it simplify this, friends, everybody?
Yes, Roshan.
Right. So why do we people use cloud? Because they cannot invest so much, right? There are so many companies emerging. How come it's possible? It is possible because they are using cloud to host their applications. The applications like Swiggy, Zomato, Ola, Uber, you see so many applications coming around, right? And so many businesses, so many websites useful things. They are leveraging cloud. If they have this initial overhead of setting up a data center, it's a very difficult task. It's not that simple task to. A huge investment is required, right? When you set up a data center on your own, huge investment is required. Now, the question is, okay, Roshan, that's good. I understand cloud. Now, let's say I have a business. Let's say I have a software. I have recruited few developers. I have QA engineers. Okay, I have the code ready. Quality is done. Quality testing is done. We have done functional performance testing is done. Now I need to deploy my code for production usage. Okay, then how do I need to use cloud? How do I get infra? That is what you are here to learn. That is what when we say, do you know cloud? What is the question? Do you know how to log in to the cloud? Do you know how to get infra? Do you know how to install a software, log into the infra, install software, manage this? That is what is required. We should know. So let's say now you have an application, you have a code with you. Now you want to deploy that code. Then what will you do? What will you do? You need to get infra. Then what is the process? Do you need to call the cloud data call center, AWS call center, that boss, I need few servers. I have this application. I have this code ready. Can you give me some application? But how will you deploy? So what is the process? That is what we are here to learn. So every cloud has a management console, we call it, right? For example, for example, if I talk about cloud, so we have an application. Everybody is supposed to go to this URL, right? We all know, right? Amazon.com, just use aws.amazon.com. Use aws.amazon.com. Go to this website. Everybody needs to sign up. If you do not have everybody needs to have a cloud account first of all. That is where you will get billed, you will use, you will get billed, you need to pay the charges, right? So this is the setup. This is how you need to proceed. If anybody has to proceed. So you go to aws.amazon.com and sign up, create account. Everybody, everybody needs to have the cloud account, friends. Please make sure you create a cloud account today. Go to this website, aws.amazon.com, and create your own account. Use your Gmail address, Gmail ID. Root user is the Gmail ID. Put that Gmail ID. Give some user account name. Give a name of your liking. Put small letters. Verify your email address, and you proceed with the next steps. They will ask your PAN detail. They will ask your address. They will also ask for some payment just to verify whether you are a genuine user. They cannot trust, right? They can have a bot attack, and many people would like to create the account. They may try to misuse this, right? So they verify that you are a genuine user or not. So they also ask you to pay some INR 2 rupees or $1 if you have an international card. So just to check the genuine, whether you are a genuine user or not. So they ask and they refund you back also. So sign up, okay? You have a process. Please follow the steps here. Go to aws.amazon.com and complete the process. It's like very much similar to how do we sign up to any social media platform. And you complete the process and you create the account. When you have the account created, so this is the action item, friends. Please do that, okay, today. If you do not have a cloud account in AWS, please create it today. We would need this. Okay, it's a very simple process. They will ask your address. Uh, Always select free tier. They will ask a couple of questions like, why do you need the account? So personal usage, use personal use, don't use official users and all. And try to select free tier. Remember these two options.
How many days these free trials will be available, Roshan?
Yeah, they give you some credits. Okay. They give you some credits, 100 USD, and you can use. And we will ensure that your credits are not exhausted. When we have the session, I'm going to guide you on how to optimize the cost so that your free credits are not exceeded and you will not incur any cost. So try AWS at no cost for up to 6 months. Okay. So either you exhaust your credit or you can use up to 6 months. It's up to you. So will completely ensure that you don't incur any cost. You will learn cloud in the free credit that you get. Sounds good?
If it exhausts also, we can create using another Gmail account. We can continue, right?
You can. But
Okay.
let's say think about it. If the bill is $20, 30, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, you don't want to go in the entire again process, right? So the idea here is to learn cost optimization also, right? And that is the mindset. So I always suggest, yes, you have the option of always creating the new Gmail and creating the new account, but always have that practice of cost optimization. Because as an SRE engineer, you are expected to do the cost optimization. And if you're not able to control the cost of your account, how will you control the cost of the entire company, right?
It sounds
So
good.
right? So I always advise that have one account, try to manage the cost. If why do you need the servers? Why do you need the servers running when you don't need it? Right? Why do you need the services running when you don't need it? Delete it, terminate it. So there are ways, right? So I'm gonna guide you on that. So, but we'll ensure that you don't incur anything more during the session, right? You get only being used from this free. They give you every cloud does that, not just AWS, because see, it is in their favor that everybody learns their cloud. If more people will know AWS, they are more likely to make more business, right? That's why this strategy, right? Okay, that I'm giving you some free credits, log in, explore, learn, and get full-fledged working, running, right? Your applications. But we are here to learn. We are not here to build a full-fledged application which runs for many months, right? So we're gonna make sure that we don't incur any cost. Okay, so everybody, that's the action item on you. I need everybody to create a cloud account today. Sounds good? Very simple process. Now I'm
Good,
gonna
good.
log into my cloud account and I'm gonna show this to you how it works. Okay, I have a cloud account already, using it for many months. Now there are two options to log in. I will talk about that. What is IAM user? What is a root user? So when you create your own account, you are the root user because you will create the account using the root user email. So I will try to log in using the root user email only, the way you would be doing it after you create the account. So I have my email address and I have my password. And what I have done, I have set up MFA, multi-factor authentication. I will tell you how to get this done next session. I am checking my mobile. Okay. You also, everybody, please download a mobile app, um, Android Marketplace or in Apple Store. Also, you have it. Google Authenticator. You can use
Is it
just
required, Roshan?
yeah. If you need MFA, it's required. If you do not need MFA, it's not required.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Right now, I will tell you how to set this up in the next session. Once you have the cloud account, I'm going to demonstrate this to you. But I need for the login, I need to put a 6-digit code, right? And what I'm doing right now, I have a mobile and I have this application installed in my mobile called Google Authenticator. There are other authenticator apps also, Microsoft Authenticator, Duo Mobile, OAuth, Symantec. There are a lot of options. I'm using Google Authenticator. Okay. So I'm looking at my mobile and I'm putting the 6 code, which is randomly getting generated every 30 seconds. So I have put this and I'm able to sign in. Right? So this is what you will, once you have the cloud account created using the root email address, you will be also, they will not ask you this 6-digit code. You need to set this up. I will tell you how to set this up and why it's required to make your account secure. Why MFA is required? If anybody hacks your laptop also, again, they will not be able to use it because you have double authentication. They also need your mobile to hack your account. Okay, friends. So this is what we call it management console. So if you need infra, you don't need to call center, their AWS cloud call center. You don't need to call. What you should do, you should log into the cloud and you have everything you need. Think like this. You are the chef in a kitchen and all the items you have. All the items, all the ingredients that you need to prepare one item is here in this cloud. You use whatever you need, you do all the shopping, right? You will get charged. Simple. If you need 100 servers, you will get it. If you need load balancer, auto scaling group, you will get it. You need petabytes of storage, you will get it. Everything you will get it. But you will get charged. You have to keep paying the bill, monthly bill, and they will give you breakdown like how do we get postpaid detail, right? If you have a postpaid mobile connection, right, we get detailed bill. You will get also detailed bill, what service you used, what how you are being charged. So they have all those transparency. It's not like a black box where you do not have the trans, they just give you the amount. No, you can explore with service, what for how long you use, every detail. Okay, so friends, this is called the management console. You have everything you need, anybody need, right, to create infra, to deploy application. So far so good. Everybody on the same page?
Yes, Roshan.
Now we are talking about AWS, stands for Amazon Web Services, right? Now, little history, right? See how AWS came into existence. Everybody knows about this guy, right? Popular guy, Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon.com, founder of Amazon.com website. So this guy was setting up on-premise infrastructure for Amazon.com. In that process, he realized, the same guy who is the founder of Amazon.com, he realized that whatever the infra that is being created for Amazon.com, it could be leveraged also to others. There could be a setup, a mechanism where others can also leverage the infrastructure. That is the idea, right? That finally we have the AWS right now. It's the first cloud provider founded in 2006, 2007. Right? And the idea came while he was trying to set up the data center for Amazon.com. Whatever he is doing, that could be leveraged. Why can't we have a console? Why can't we give power to the user to create server, storage, deploy applications? All those things could be done. Anyway, they have infrastructure, they have data center. It's all about having a mechanism for others to use the same infra. And that is where Amazon AWS came into existence, and it's have much more revenue, like Jeff Bezos has two bigger business, right? Amazon.com and AWS both. At one point in time, he was the world's richest person, right? Why? So these are two regions, Amazon.com and AWS, right? Now, when in 2006, 2007, we had the AWS was founded with three services, only three service. Okay. What is service? Service, anything that you need in cloud, anything, it's through service. Whatever you're seeing here, right? S3, EC2, simple notification service, Amazon event, it's all service. If you want to see a list of services, you click on this guy here, right? And you will see all the services. You have so many services. You have so many services. And for every use case, if you want to develop a game, you have service for this. If you want to do some analytics, you have some service for this. If you want to integrate application, you have a service for this. If you want to work on blockchain, you have a service for this. Business application, you have a service for this. Everything there is a service, right? Now it has grown a lot over the last 20 years, grown, but it started with only three services. EC2, which we call Elastic Compute Cloud. Every service has a use case. Why do we use EC2 service? Elastic Compute Cloud. Anybody, any guess? Why do we use EC2? What is the main purpose of using EC2? What does it serve? What does it offer? Servers. It offers servers. That is the main use case of this service. EC2 service, full form Elastic Compute Cloud. What it offers? Servers. When I say servers, you like a laptop. Your laptop is also a server, having some core, RAM, storage, OS. So EC2 service offers servers. And what do we do in servers, friends? What do we do in server? I'm trying to break it down, make it simple for you. What do we do in servers? I know most of you know the answer, that's why you are keeping quiet, but I need you to tell. What do we do in the servers?
In servers, we are
We
going
run
to host the
jobs, we run
applications and data.
processes.
Yes, we deploy applications. Your Amazon.com, your Flipkart, your Make My Trip, your Walmart, all the applications are running on the servers. We need servers, we need compute, we need memory, we need storage to deploy applications. All the application that you see around is running on the servers. In most of the servers, what do you think which operating system do we use? Linux or Windows? What do you think? What is your understanding? What do you think, friends?
Linux.
Linux, right? Don't think Windows. No, we don't use Windows. Windows are licensed, very heavy. We use Linux. That is why we have the Linux in the course. That is why, friends, we have Linux in the course. We all need to be comfortable with Linux.
Few of the clients are going to use Windows. In that case, what we
Yeah, that's
can do?
few only, right? If I tell you 95 to 98% of the deployment happens on which OS? Should we prepare for 2% or should we prepare for 98%?
98 only.
That's it. So should we focus on Windows or should we focus on Linux?
Linux.
That's why we have Linux in our course. If I ask you, okay, you have a file, you have a lot of content in that file. I need you to replace a word in the file. Windows, everybody knows. Control F, Control G, hit enter. Yes, do we all know? Yes, we all. If I ask you deploy one application in Windows, everybody knows. Just download this, just keep on double clicking, you install of software in Windows. Everybody knows all these things. But if I ask you to do the same thing in Linux, most of you will struggle. Not all of you. You there will be people who would know this, but most of the people will struggle. How do we do that? What is Linux? I had never used. That is the problem, right? That's why we have this Linux in our module, and we will be getting all comfortable. We'll be getting all comfortable in within a week's time. That's my promise, right? Once we understand, it's all about understanding things in a very simple manner. Okay, right? So we'll be very comfortable in just 1 week. Now, coming back. So we all need servers. Okay, that's the first service. So there were three services. First was EC2. Second service was, friends, S3. S3, full form, simple storage service. Why do we use S3? What is the use case of using S3? The answer is already in the service
Okay.
listed. Yeah, go ahead. Complete your answer. Who was speaking? Go ahead. Why? What is the use case of using this service S3? Somebody was saying, right? Why you got stopped? To store the file. Okay, yeah, Rohit. Somebody else was saying, right? Okay. See, and the name suggests simple storage service. What do we do in this S3? What do we do? We store. It's a storage. What do we store? Anything. The entire Netflix content is stored in S3. We all watch Netflix, Hotstar, Amazon Prime videos. We all watch, right? Discovery. We all watch. Where do we have we have a lot of contents, right? What do you think? Where they are storing the content? They all use AWS, and they need bigger storage. They all use S3, friends. They all use S3. Dropbox. Do we all know about Dropbox application? Beautiful UI where you can upload all your documents. Do you know what Dropbox uses behind the scene? Where actually the all those uploads get stored? In S3. So this is the second service in 2006, 2007. The third service is SQS, simple queue service. When you need to make your call asynchronous, we use queue. Do we understand synchronous communication and asynchronous communication? Can somebody tell me what is the difference between
Yes.
synchronous? Go ahead, please tell me.
Yeah, in synchronous, mainly requests are sent and like it doesn't care about the response. Means it is not like waiting for the response to come to send next
You are
request.
telling synchronous this definition or asynchronous this definition?
Sorry, this is asynchronous. So this is asynchronous, and in synchronous mainly like if any request is sent, then it is also waiting for the response to send the next request. So it is in synchronized.
Right. So synchronous is direct communication, right? Both the parties have to be available. Both the parties have to be available. Load balancer sending request to the underlying servers, web server. If you have more load coming to the load balancer will simply distribute all the traffic to these underlying servers. Both the parties have to be available. There is no option. Synchronous communication. Both the parties have to be available. In asynchronous, there is no required for both the parties to be available. I will send in on my terms. The receiver will consume in their own, like there's no need to for the synchronous communication. As the name says, synchronous. Both the parties have to be in sync, right? Asynchronous, okay, you don't need both the parties to be in sync available at the same time, right? I can send a message. If my recipient is busy, my has been sent. I have done my work. If my recipient is busy, let him complete the work. Let him or her complete the work. Once the recipient is available, he or she can see what I have sent and consume it. Right? That's so we use queue to make the call asynchronous. We will make the queue, right? Might have heard of MQ, might have heard of Kafka. So we have a lot of things where we need asynchronous communication, and we need asynchronous communication for the scale. Wherever you have a huge, massive scale, we have to make the call asynchronous. If not, do we understand what are you able to understand what I'm saying? Not sure if everybody's understanding this. Let me just draw a couple of diagrams. Everybody knows, right? Let's say this is a load balancer. And what the load balancer does, like the name suggests, load balances the load. It balances the load. So what does it mean? If you continue hitting Amazon.com or Flipkart.com, right? Eventually the request is going to the load balancer, their load balancer. When you have users hitting the websites, eventually the traffic will come to the load balancer, all the traffic. Then what the load balancer does, it simply distributes, balances the load. What this guy is doing, you have got multiple web servers. You have multiple web servers, right? Let's say 10 web servers. Whatever, you have web servers. All it does, load balancer, it distributes the load across all the web servers. It distributes the traffic. That is what it does. It distributes equally. That is what the load balancer job is. Now tell me one thing. If my web server is not available, do you think I'm going to get 200 status code in the load balancer? If my web server is not available, do you think I'm going to get 200 status code in my load balancer?
If all web servers are not available, then we will not get.
Right? You able to understand, right? 200 status code, everybody understands, right? For the successful response, we get 200 status code. I hope we all understand status code. Do we understand status code?
Yes, Roshan.
Everybody give me thumbs up. Do we all understand status code?
Yes, we are aware of it.
Right, good. So if the web server is not available, or let's say few web server is not available, if the load balancer continue to send the request, I am not going to get 200 status code from the web server. So this is a synchronous communication. Both the parties have to be available for it to work. Now, when you have more load, do you need more web servers or not?
Yes.
Yes.
That is the problem which happens when you have a massive scale. Then not just the web server, right? Every other downstream server will get impacted. Your app server, your database server, all are synchronous. Everything would get impacted accordingly if you have more load. That is what we do. We make the call asynchronous so that I don't need to scale in a synchronous manner all the servers at the same time, right? That is why we use queue kind of a system, right? That is why we use queue kind of a system, friends. Keep it like this, right? That I have a queue, and I have two things, publisher and a consumer. Anybody could be my publisher here, a person who is sending the request, and person who is receiving the request, consumer. This guy can, let's say we have massive scale. This guy can continue to send irrespective whether my consumer is available or not, doesn't matter. This guy will not give a damn about it. Producer will not give a damn about it whether my consumer is available or not. This guy will send message. It will get stored. The message, all the requests, all the messages will get stored in the queue. Will be stored in the queue so that the request should not get lost. That's the most important thing. We want all the requests to be served. That is our ultimate goal, right? So all the requests will be stored here. Okay. Now, if the consumer is free, consumer can pick it and consume it. Consumer is free, pick it, consume it, do the next processing. Free it, pick it, consume, process it, consume in the next thing. So we are able to scale better in asynchronous. This is called asynchronous communication. Able to understand now better, everybody? Different between asynchronous communication. Clear? Does this help? This diagram? Quick answer, quick yes will help me to move ahead. Any questions?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So we have SQL. So we have got three services back then. Okay. Q, making the call asynchronous. Okay. Asynchronous communication. Let's put this. The use case is the asynchronous communication. Now, can you guys guess how many services we have after 20 years? Anybody? 20 years back, we have only three services. What is the number of services we have after 20 years? It is 240 plus services. Let's think like this. The way it has grown. We have AI added now. Because everything is here. They are making life simple. Cloud is here to automate, to make things simple. Cloud, right? You just name it, you have every service. You want to work on machine learning, you have a service. Plethora of services. You want to work on media services, you have services. You want to work on migration and transfer, you have a service. You want to work on databases, you have a service. For everything you have a service which is like a automated thing, which will make your life better. They will help you. So it's a ready-made. I told you, right? Cloud is a full furnished service apartment, fully furnished. Everything is there. Whatever you need, luxury, whatever you need. Just go use it. What as per your requirement, pay the monthly bill, grow your business. Cloud expedites that journey. But if you're in on-premise, you will have to set up. Do you think are you going to get all these features out of the box in on-premise? Friends, are we going to get all these features in on-premise? Do you think so?
No, Roshan.
Yes, I
No,
think, but
no,
we have to
no.
create. We have
You
to
have to create. Exactly.
Yes.
You will have to develop. They have developed. Cloud providers, they have developed all these things over the years. It is their development. So fully furnished, right? I told you example. There are a lot of good regions for this. If you people work on, think about security. Okay. If you want to work on security, they have again enormous services on security. Storage security. Look at this. plethora of services. I don't want to just name it here. To protect you from DDoS attack, we have WAF and sealed. Do we understand DDoS attack? Anybody?
Yes, yes.
What is that? Please explain.
Maybe we get a lot of unwanted, or if someone want to make any system down, it will send many requests so that the system cannot serve and it will crash and it will go down.
Correct.
So
So the application has to be configured in such a way that it can protect from the DDoS attack. Yes or no? The application Amazon.com. Somebody is trying to do a DDoS attack on Amazon.com. Enormous load coming in. Now tell me, should Amazon.com be configured to protect DDoS attack or not?
yes, yes.
So we have a service which can help you do that. If you use WAF and sealed, this will help you protect from DDoS attack. Web application firewall, sealed for DDoS attack. So everything is built. You just need to use it, configure it for your application that you're deploying. So we have such lot of good services. If you want to store your keys, protect your keys, encrypt your keys, passwords, you have key management service. We will go over that. Okay, so people use cloud because they get a lot of good features. They don't need to wait. They don't have the initial investment to make like an on-premise. They get a lot of good features. Everything is out of the box. They don't need to start from scratch. Cloud helps them in get the business up and running in a quick time. They don't have the overhead of doing all the things from scratch. Scale. Today you need 20 servers, tomorrow you need 40 servers. You don't need to purchase like on-premise. You will just scale. You have auto scaling in cloud. You will how the billing works. Pay as you go. In the cloud, billing works as pay as you go. You will get billed for what you use. If you use 20 servers, you will pay for 20 servers. If you use 10 servers, you will pay for 10 servers. But does it happen like in on-premise? No, because you have to purchase the server. Now, whether you use it or you do not use it, it's up to you. You've already purchased, already invested. So there are a lot of good reasons why people use cloud, right? And we all need to know cloud because every other company using cloud. You can say, Rasan, how performance? Okay, it's about infra, right, Rasan? Only DevOps engineers should know. Why a performance engineer should know cloud? Does anybody have this question? Or why SRE engineer need to know cloud? Does anybody have this question? Cloud is all about infra, right, Rasan? Okay, let the DevOps engineer create infra, deploy application. Why performance engineer need to worry about it? Why SRE engineer need to worry about it? Can somebody answer this question for me? If you do not have the question,
Every time developer will not be available, right? We have to know how to check whether the scaling is auto scale is up or down based on the resource utilization or traffic.
it's not about because of somebody not available, you are doing it. A developer doesn't care. Developer doesn't know all these things. What is the main role of a developer?
Fix the code,
To
develop the
write the
code.
code. Code, not the infra, not the cloud. They do not know all these things, first of all. If they know it's good, it will help them grow better. But their function is not to know this. Their function is to write better code, optimized code. That is their function. So it's not about if they do not have, if they do not, they are not available, we should know this. It's not about that. It's about the optimization. When you understand EC2, in EC2 itself, there are a lot of good things. Is the EC2 compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized? What type of workload I have? Is it taking more CPU? Is it taking more memory? We have to suggest the right EC2, right? You have to suggest the right EC2 so that we can achieve the performance with less cost. When we store data, the IOPS matter. We should know the underlying principle. The IOPS matter, input output per second. If you have an application which requires more IO, you should know what to suggest. Which storage to suggest. Do you know all the options in storage? In S3 only they started. The S3 is not the only one storage right now. And in that storage also you have multiple options of various IOPS requirement, throughput requirement. If your storage IOPS requirement is different for your application, you need to recommend accordingly. Who will recommend that? Yes, as you rightly said, auto scaling. If the application has some issues, so we should know how to configure auto scaling, how to check auto scaling, and it's not what is the right threshold for auto scaling, on what basis you should auto scale. So we should all know these questions, these answers. We should be all comfortable. To keep it simple, we should be all comfortable in the cloud to give suggestions. If the architecture use a service, let's say Lambda, they use containers, Kubernetes they use, EKS they use, and you do not know what to monitor in EKS, what to check in EKS, will you suggest anything? Would you be able to suggest anything, recommend anything? If they use service, there are so many services in the architecture, they use couple of services from this list, and you do not know about the service, you will be blank. You don't understand the application architecture, what it is doing, why it is used for. So to understand the application architecture, the flow, how it works, you should know, you should be comfortable with the services. Friends, are we able to understand the importance of cloud for everybody? Across anybody who works in IT, everybody should know this. If you want to really grow, to know the infrastructure, first of all, what infrastructure are we using in the app? First of all, I talk to people and I get to know that they do not have an insight on the infrastructure. Is it a VM? Is it a container? Is it what? Is it? Do we have auto scaling configured? Performance engineers I'm talking about. They do not know all these things. That is the situation. We should be comfortable. We should know all these things, but let's say they have not got the exposure. But when they know cloud, they would know what to check, what to ask the right questions. Then they can explore. If they have the right questions, they can reach out to the right people and they can ask questions and get the answers. So it gives you the insight about the infrastructure, which will help you on the capacity planning. For example, you're running a test. If you do not know the underlying infra, how much core, how much RAM, you are running a test. You do not have the insight on the underlying infra, how much core, how much RAM was used, what is the load, what percentage of load you have run the load for. Can you do capacity planning? Would you be able to recommend infra in prod? No, we should know how much core, how much RAM we used, how much prod percentage, load percentage we used, we simulated. Then only we can do the capacity planning, right? In prod, how much infra would be required in prod. To answer all these things, we should be all comfortable with the cloud. because the infra is here. Everybody is creating infra in the cloud. And there are a lot of services they use. They use database services. If you do not know how RDS, what all to check, where to check, how will you be able to suggest anything? How will you be able to troubleshoot anything? Where is the problem? To get the answer of all these things, this will be very much comfortable with cloud. Does that make sense to all of you? Why performance engineers, SRE engineers should know cloud? Does this answer, friends, everybody? Big
Yes.
thumbs up from all of you.
Yes.
Right, friends. So we have started today. It's time. I understand it could be office time. So let's not um, extend further. We will continue our discussion. Good discussion, friends. So first, the only one prerequisite for you to have the next session, you should have the cloud account. That's all. Okay. I'm gonna walk you through how, on what basis somebody selects a region. There are what is regions. We'll go from the very basics on the cloud, right? We will create EC2. We will log into EC2. We'll do SSH to EC2. We will do all sorts of things, right? We will start learning and you will have a very good insight. In 2 weeks itself, you'll feel comfortable. Okay. You will feel wow. You will only feel that why you didn't know earlier. Okay. That is what you will feel after 2 weeks. Okay. I'm going to check this to you after 2 weeks. You will, everybody, every one of you. Okay. So friends, we have
Roshan,
started today. Go ahead.
yeah, I have a question. Like, I'm having some hands-on on Azure. So if it
Uh-huh.
is okay if I go ahead with Azure.
Absolutely fine. Any cloud. Okay. If you are comfortable with cloud, you continue. See, in the Azure, the EC2, we call it virtual machine.
Right.
Correct. The name it goes by virtual machine. The S3, we have blob storage. Right?
Correct.
If you know Azure, you would be knowing it. What do we call S3? We have blob storage. We call EC2 as the compute engine, right? So the use case across all the cloud is same. Use case, right? I'll give you a link, right, which will help you compare the services across various cloud. Uh, this is a use case, compute. I call EC2, Azure, you call it virtual machine. In GCP, somebody would call it compute engine. That's fine, let them call. But the use case is the same, getting the service, right? Right? So that is what it's all about. S3, I call blob storage in Azure. In GCP, they call cloud storage. Okay, let them call. But we all understand the use case. What does it matter?
One
The
more
use
question.
case remains the same across all the cloud. Okay, so absolutely fine, Aditya. You continue your Azure journey. Absolutely fine. No problem
I have
here.
one more
If we should
question.
all know one cloud and we learn other cloud. That's what I have learned. I have worked on 4 cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP, and OCI. I worked on 4 cloud. That's what I just started with one cloud, and that's how I um, could manage in four all the 4 cloud. We just need to be comfortable with one cloud, and we can learn other clouds. Yes. Any other
Roshan,
questions?
I have one
Hmm.
question. Like, are you planning the same SRE batch in weekend or weekend batch also? Or this will
Yeah,
be
it will
complete.
take some time. The weekend batch is already ongoing. 40% of the syllabus is already covered. It will take
Okay.
2 months for the new batch to start in the
Okay.
weekends evening.
Okay.
Weekends batch evening at what time, Roshan?
It starts at 7:30. 7:30 to 9:30. We only meet 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. But it's already 40%. So you will only get after 2 months. We don't have a new batch immediate. It will only start after 2 months in
Actually,
weekends
Roshan,
evening.
I need to complete this course as soon as possible.
That
Alternatively,
you attend the weekdays, which have already started.
okay, okay, fine.
So what, like within the what is the duration for this batch?
Okay, 40 hours of live sessions and there are some recorded sessions. So it takes approximately 3 months to complete this course. Live session, there are 40 hours.
Yeah.
We meet 3 days a week, 1 hour each. Right. So you can calculate it takes 3 months.
Wednesday, right?
Monday to Friday, it will be any 3 days, but mostly gonna be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mostly 3 days on these days, but let's say something happened on any one of the holidays and all. We may switch to some other weekday, but it will be happen only in the weekdays 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST.
Okay.
We will make sure we meet 3 days a week anyway.
So it will take like 3 months to complete, right?
3 months to complete this course. And very detailed, very lot of things we cover. This much time is required. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, friends. So you'll be added to the group which already been created. Most of you have already there. I'll be sharing you, giving you access to the PPTs. I'll be sharing you the Linux recorded session. Try to complete over the weekend itself. Try to go over that. Right. I'll be giving you this access. We'll try to give it today or mostly by tomorrow. I'll be giving you that. Right. Friends, thank you. So that's all today. We'll continue our cloud journey. Please remember the prerequisite. Those who are attending the next session, please make sure you have the cloud account with you. Okay. Message me if you have any problem in creating the account. It should not be the problem. Remember 2 things. You should select the personal usage and the free tier. You have to do a transaction of INR 2 or $1. You have to provide your PAN details. It is from the AWS. Okay. So you have to just keep remember that so that you don't get surprised when you create the account. You will be asked questions, address, PAN details, a transaction, these options. So please make sure you select this and create the cloud account. Okay. That's all. Thank you so much. I'll meet you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.